Shalom, all praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect by Shem Rachak. My name is Jacobo from Plaintables Camp. Now, the Jays, which proves that the Jays are not the people. When you look up Ezekiel 36 chapter, they don't fit the prophecy. Ezekiel 36, and I only have to read 2 verses. All right, you can read the whole chapter of Ezekiel 36 if you want to get the full understanding. But the point here is the people are prophesied. Key phrase here: they are at hand to come. All right, for they are at hand to come, meaning they're not there yet. They're not in the land yet. They're not in. They haven't been brought back to the east, meaning us. We have not been brought back to the east. The majority of us are still scattered throughout the world. But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches. Meaning you're going to grow in population. Israel is the most numerous people on the planet. And yield your fruit to my people of Israel, for they are at hand to come. So they're not there yet. The majority of Israelites are still scattered. 99% of Israel is still scattered all over the world. They're not in the land. For behold, I am for you, and I will turn unto you, and ye shall be tilled and sown. When you look at the current land now, it is not in its proper strength. It is weak. It has to get imports and support from other nations to survive. So it is impossible for them, for that government, that ruling body, and I would say the majority. You have people mangled in all nations, but the majority of those people are other nations. They're not the biblical. All right, now we're gonna look. Let this video play. So they're supposed to be the righteous of the earth. So why do they have a secular government that is not religious? Why doesn't their leaders conduct themselves in the way of the Bible? Beards, phylacteries, because they're not the people. They're not the people of the book. They're imposters.
Breaking news from Gaza City and Al-Shifa Hospital, where a 3rd mass grave has been found. At least 49 bodies have been recovered. Officials are currently exhuming the bodies from the grave. Israel had laid siege to the compound in March. After their forces left, several bodies were discovered. Hundreds of Palestinians had been taking shelter in the complex. Al-Shifa Hospital is Gaza's largest medical facility, but has been out of service for months. Let's bring in Al Jazeera's Hani Mahmoud for more on this. He joins us live from Deir al-Balah in central Gaza. Hani, what more are you hearing about this new mass grave that's been discovered at Al-Shifa?
Yes, Father, this is part of an evolving, heartbreaking story of more bodies being found in a massive grave. This is not the first time. This is the 3rd massive grave discovered at the courtyard of Al-Shifa Hospital. The Israeli military stormed Al-Shifa Hospital twice, and in each time leaving trails of devastation and destruction, completely pushing the facility out of service, where thousands of people were sheltering inside. That included injuries, patients, and evacuees. For the past months of this genocidal war, this is a new massive grave. Mainly bodies of women and children were found all in one massive grave. 49 bodies have been recovered. The search is still continuing, and we're getting reports from the civil defense crew members and paramedics. There are still more bodies, those who were identified within the past a few weeks as missing, where their whereabouts was unknown for many of the remaining family members. This is the 3rd time we're seeing a massive grave discovered in Al-Shifa Hospital. Only 2 weeks ago, 3 massive graves were also discovered at Nasser Hospital, bringing the total number of people both in Nasser Hospital and Al-Shifa Hospital, and one more in Kamal Adwan Hospital, to 520 bodies that were found in these massive graves. Very tragic and very heartbreaking, and this is a double tragedy for families, remaining family members who were waiting and hoping that they could find their missing family members. And right now they're being introduced, they're being called to go to the site of Al-Shifa Hospital to identify those bodies.
All right. So I'm not sure if they were just deleted there or they were transported there. I'm not sure. All right, you can just type in war on Gaza, third massive grave found at Al-Shifa Hospital. War on Gaza, third massive grave found at Al-Shifa Hospital. All right, so there's already laws in the books, against discrimination against certain groups, but they have to have a special law for them. All right, this proves that they're not the people. All right, House passes a bill aimed to combat anti-J amid college unrest. All right, so the bill has to pass the Senate for it to be a law. To be clear, the bill has to pass the Senate for it to be a law. The bill passes with a 320 to 91 vote. 70 Democrats and 21 Republicans voted against the measure. That's interesting. You got more Democrats voting against it, all right, than Republicans. So more Republicans were for the bill. All right, you just type in to find this House passes bill amid to combat amid college unrest. All right, and we got the international group defines anti as a certain perception of Jays which may express as hatred toward Jays, and gives examples of the definition's application, which includes accusing Jays as a people of being responsible for real or imagined wrongdoing committed by a single J person. All right, and making demonizing stereotypical. So you can't, according to the bill, which is not a law, it has to pass the Senate to be a law. All right, accusing it says here, real or imagined wrongdoing committed by a single J or group. So that doesn't make sense. So according to this bill, which they want to become a law, you can't accuse a single J person. This is odd. You can accuse anybody of anything. All right. But according to the bill that passed the House, it is the definition of anti is if you accuse a single J person of being responsible for wrongdoing. All right, you can see it clear as day. If you accuse a single J person of being responsible for wrongdoing, it is considered anti-J. Okay, that's the bill that passed the House. All right, it has to pass the Senate for it to be a law. All right, so these are scriptures I have. You put in least of the flock, you get Jeremiah 49 and 20 and Jeremiah 50 and 45. So Jeremiah 49 and 20 links the least of the flock to the Edomites. We know who the Edomites are. They're mainly the pale flesh people. All right, and they mix themselves with the nation, so they got some tint and some other features also, but mainly the pale flesh people over there in the east, and the ones over here in America, a lot of them reside in Brooklyn. All right, you know what I'm talking about. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. All right, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock is Amalek. And they reside over there in the east, and a lot of them reside over there in Brooklyn, they're in Hollywood, etc. You know what I'm talking about. All right, so the least of the flock are the so-called Jays. All right, which they're a tribe of the Edomites. All right, we go to Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, Ezekiel 38:15. Make sure we're still rolling. And thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, thou and many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses, a great company and a mighty army. And thou shalt come against my people Israel as the cloud to cover the land. It shall be in the latter days. Now, this is referring to the land of Israel. All right. And I will bring thee against my land, that the heathen may know me. All right. Yeah, because the heathen are mainly there. You have our people scattered amongst them. But the main people that are there in that land are the Edomites. All right. That's why I said that, because you do have the scattering of Israel there. All right. But you mainly have, you know, the Arabs and the Jays there, and our people scattered amongst them. So yeah, it's going to come against our people, and the ones that are there are going to be totally incinerated. All right. And it shall be in the latter days, and I will bring thee against my land. Okay. So Gog and Magog are going to come against the land, that the heathen may know me. Because the people that are ruling that government are the heathen. They're not the biblical Israelites. When I shall be, when I shall be sanctified in thee, O God, before thine eyes. Thus, Ezekiel 38:17, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, art thou he of whom I have spoken in old time by my servants the prophets of Israel, all right, which prophesied in those days many years that I would bring thee against them. Now you go back to Isaiah's prophecy. It tells you that the Lord's sword was going to be bathed in heaven. Isaiah 34. To come down upon Idumea. And I believe they prophesied about over 100 plus years apart, Ezekiel and Isaiah. And it shall come to pass at the same time, when Gog shall come against the land of Israel, saith Lord God, that my fury shall come up in my face. Okay, so it's coming up against the land of Israel. All right, because the people that are inhabiting the land right now are the so-called Jays. They are the people of Esau, Edom. In my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath. So Gog and Magog represents the Lord's sword being bathed in heaven. Isaiah 34th chapter. So it was prophesied that Gog and Magog was going to come against the land of Israel. For in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken, surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel. Yes, because Israel is going to be completely destroyed by the Russians. Gog and Magog is referring to the Russians. All right. And it has been prophesied before Ezekiel's time that the Lord's sword was going to be bathed in heaven, and Isaiah is a notable prophet. All right, he's not there. I got Isaiah there, but I already spoke about it, so I'm not going to bring it up. I got Matthew 24 and 5. Well, disciples asked, when shall thy coming, when to the end of the world? For many shall come in my name, saying, I am a Mashiach, and shall deceive many. Yeah, you have people that are actually saying that they're the Messiah, and that are in the stead of the different prophets. All right, and they're liars. They're not bringing you the whole truth. They're bringing you piecemeal parts and complete lies. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. All right, so we know that the time is near. So the wars and rumors of wars are ramping up. The supply chain has been disrupted, and this is a creation of man. All right. Either way, it's the Lord is doing it. All right, Yahweh Shai is doing it. All right, whether Esau creates it artificially or it's natural. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. That's why they want to pass this bill, passed the House. Now, if it passes the Senate, it's an actual law that you can't say anything negative against a single J person. Okay, let me bring that back up. You just type it in. House passes bill amid to combat anti-J amid college unrest. Let's put anti, and we'll start with an S. Anti, you know, there's it says, which may be expressed as hatred toward Jays, and gives examples of definitions application. All right. It says, accused Jays as a people of being responsible for real wrongdoing committed by a single J person, and making dehumanizing, demonizing, and stereotypical allegations about Jays as such, or power, or the power of the J as a collective. So you can't say that a certain group of people has power as a collective. This proves that they're above the Constitution. This proves that these people are above the other nations on earth. This is how the Edomite so-called white man looks at those people. All right, as being above everyone else. All right. Now they can think that because they run the world. It's actually okay for them to think that. All right. But the prophecy is that they're going to be taken out of power. All right. What's going to happen? Their country is going to be destroyed by Gog and Magog, the Russians. All right. Then we go to Isaiah 34. Well, we might as well go to Isaiah 34. All right. Because Isaiah 34:6, it says, the sword of Yahweh is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, and the fat of kidneys and rams. For Yahweh hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Now this is referring to America. All right. Now this fire, this slaughter is going to happen in America, and it's going to happen in the old Basra, or over there in the land of Israel. All right. But Basra here is referring to America. All right, you can say it's referring to both. All right, because it's going to be total destruction in both. All right, but it's mainly talking about, America, because there's more people here. All right, so when you say a great slaughter, it's more people in Babylon, America. All right. And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with the blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. All right, I believe that's referring to the chariots of Israel. All right. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. Yeah, because the nations have destroyed the biblical children of Israel, which are us, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. We have the biblical Israelites. All right, and the Lord is going to judge the so-called Jays and the other tribes of the Edomites with fire. That's how he's going to judge them. The judgment is going to be nuclear fire, and the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. Okay, America, Babylon, and over there in the east. All right, that small little area over there. The whole area, including Gaza, you got Jerusalem, Haifa, all those areas that are considered the borders where the so-called Jays took over and expelled the native Palestinians, all right, which are Arabs, all right, and you have our people mangled amongst them. All right, so that's the judgment that's going to come down upon Babylon, America, the new Basra, and the old Basra over there in the east. All right, so this is the law which they want to get passed. All right, now if this passes, this proves without a shadow of a doubt that that all of the theories and conspiracies are true. Even if it doesn't get passed, but the very fact that it passed, that it was a bill, and that it passed the House, and I believe it's going to the Senate. That's the point, to make it a law. The very fact that this even came up proves that the that we have a shadow government, that there are forces that are not aligned with the so-called Constitution and American values and all that crap. All right, because it's not real. It's always been since its conception, really. If you want to get it to a fact, the founding fathers were Masons. They're involved in work. They're worshiping Satan. They subjugated the true biblical Israelites, which are us, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. So those are the facts. All right, America's rooted in witchcraft, and murder, pain, and suffering, as it is written. One man ruleth over another to his own hurt. All right. I'll get that. As Ecclesiastes 10:6, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low places. I have seen, say, the so-called Jays, they don't fit this. That tribe is, according to what the world says, is 2% of the Earth's population, 2 or 3%. Yet they have so much power and wealth. Well, if this bill passes the House, the Senate, if this bill passes the Senate, then it would be a crime to say that a J person is responsible for wrongdoing. All right. Now we're gonna look up the title of the bill. Lastly. All right. I have seen servants upon 10:7 Ecclesiastes. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking and servants upon the earth. All right. So the Jays are riding on the horses. All right. And we're walking on the ground as servants. All right. And they're considered white people, by the way. They're white. All right. That's a race that they made up, but they're white. that's the race that they made up. They identify as. All right. Shout out to Michael Richards from Seinfeld. All right. 50 years ago, we had you upside down with a fork in your ass. Yes, he's a so-called J. They consider themselves to be white, the race that they made up. All right. There we go. It speaks for their current financial status, power, and speaks for itself. All right, they're not supposed to even be in the land. If they're the real people, they're supposed to be suffering and poor. All right. And lastly, we're going to get the bill name. Ecclesiastes 8:9. All this have I seen and applied my heart into every work that is done under the sun. There is a time wherein one man ruleth over another to his own hurt. 8:9 Ecclesiastes. All this have I seen and applied my heart unto every work that is done under the sun. There is a time wherein one man ruleth over another to his own hurt. We are the servants walking on the ground, and Esau, Edom, the Jays, and all their tribes are on the horses with power, technology, money. They're losing their world support now because of the Gaza thing. And so I saw the wicked buried. All right. So they're going to get, their power is only going to last a certain time. Who had come and gone from the place of the holy. They in the land right now, right? And they were forgotten in the city where they had so done. This is also vanity. So they're going to be put in, they're going to be chased out of the world and be put out of the world. And we're going to even forget who the hell they were. It's going to be like a dream. All right. And we're going to get the bill name. All right, this is the name of it. Right here. I'll close the lesson out. The bill entitled Anti-Awareness Act would mandate that the Education Department adopt the broad definition of the anti-S used by the International HCOS Remembrance Alliance, an intergovernmental group to enforce anti-discrimination laws. So the law would be to enforce See, this is a demonic kingdom. How are you making a law to enforce the laws? That's what it is. So they would deem your actions, your speech, whether it's anti-S. They would have to determine that, because anti-discrimination laws are already, in the law, in American law. So I'll leave that there. I think you get the point. Hope this lesson was edifying. Shalom.